Elena from Elena's Knits, and today I am doing my KnitCity Toronto 2026 part 2 video, and this is my haul. So what I'm going to do is rotate the camera so that I can more easily show you what I got, and hopefully you'll get a nice close view so you can see textures and colors better. So yeah, I'm going to do that without further ado. See you shortly. Hi, it's me again. All right, so here we go. Let me grab my notes so I don't forget the names of these shops. All right, so the first thing I bought when I got there was from Irene Textile. So again, there's the card. And what I bought was this book by Kirsten Neumüller. Sorry, am I gonna try to do this? No, Neumüller. I don't know why I can't do it, but this book that I've been thinking about buying for a long time about weaving bands on a small rigid heddle loom. So it goes through how to do it. It has different patterns. I hear really good things. So I finally pulled the trigger and got this one. And then I got 2 yarns on cones that would be suitable for the warp. So these are both the same type. It's cotton 2/8 and a denim color and a natural color. All right. So yeah, I'm really excited to dig into that. I'm probably going to start with something super simple, but this pattern on the cover has either 2 or 3 colors. But yeah, the yarns are single for the warp, and then for the weft, which goes this way, there's one that's held triple, I think, triple? And yeah, it looks like triple. So maybe I have enough to make something like this. We will see. All right, so I'll put those aside. The second thing I got chronologically was from Miles Apart. Maybe I can't show this that well by this angle. But yeah, these are the dyers from Quebec. I met one of them in Montreal, and so wanted to see their booth. Yeah, everything was beautiful. Everything. They had lots of gorgeous blends of yarn, but this is called Nuage d'Alpaca, or Alpaca Cloud. So it's 74% I'll just read it in English. Baby Surrey alpaca, and then 26% mulberry silk. It's lace weight, but I think you can knit it up thicker than that. And the color is called ourson, or like a young bear. And it's like a really beautiful brick red, I would call it. Yeah, I asked for some help in choosing a color between this and something more pinky, and this was their suggestion, and I think they were right. It's like treading that line between red and brown, so it works for my autumnal self. All right, so I got 4 of this, and yeah, I think I am gonna knit, let me grab, what's it called again? The Molly vest from 52 Weeks of Sweaters. And you know what? I'm gonna jump ahead chronologically because related to this is something else I got. And that's from Perelouette. And this was the store that had, or the booth that had the amazing cones of yarn. So the proprietor is like a designer and a machine knitter who makes, designs and makes things like lingerie, for instance. Oh, where's the cone thing for this? But then she wanted to get cones available for herself and then for other knitters. And yeah, so I did some damage here, but like these are so reasonable that it's not, I did not spend as much as you might think. Unless you think yarn is cheap, in which case you would be wrong. But yeah, this was really, oh my gosh, I have no words. And so I got 2 cones that I think will go really, really well with this nuage d'alpaca or alpaca cloud. So they're like really warm, brownie ready colors. So this one is, let me read the inside of the cone, 100% linen. The color is called Rouille, R-O-U-I-L-L-E. Yeah, so it's very, very fine, as you can see. It's really like a thread of linen. So you'd need 3 strands of some combination of these yarns to make something fingering weight, probably, is what they were saying. They had some samples of different blends knitted up. They're all gorgeous, of course, but very fine. Unless you go, you know, like 5 strands or something like that. And then the second one I got is pure silk, Soie Sauvage. And I was looking at their website, and it's like from Japan. And this color, does it say écorce? I wonder what that means. Is it like acorn? I don't know, écorce. But yeah, it's a really gorgeous brown with some tweediness. Yeah, really gorgeous. But I mean, these, does it say, I can see on their website what the yardage is for 100 grams. These are each 100 grams of yarn, not of cone, but yeah, the yardage is outstanding. So with these, and then these 4 skeins, I will have enough to make that vest, certainly, and then I'll have probably another vest's worth of these left over. So who knows what the future will bring for these. All right, so that's the first thing I got there. And then I also got 3 creamy colored ones. So again, I got, I think, ooh, this one doesn't say. Yeah, oh, it does, 100% linen in like a cream color. And then I got a blend of 85% merino and 15% hemp. It's really soft and gorgeous. I'm interested to see what that's like. And then the mohair silk, 70% mohair and 30% silk. So this is 100 grams of that. Usually this kind of yarn comes in a 25 gram ball, and they're usually around, I want to say $16, $20. And this was just for interest, 100 grams for $54. So I think a really good deal. And the yardage is going to be incredible. So I think these 3 together will make a sweater. I hope will make a sweater. Otherwise, I will be getting on the email to write to the maker. Anyways, yeah, I'm really happy with these purchases. They were doing really well. Yeah, and they had their baby there. So cute. Oh, and they gave me also another blend to try. They had some really interesting ones. This one is 72% merino and 28% paper. So, and they had another one that had, I can't remember if it was merino or cotton and steel. So some of those blends that you really only see in like Japanese yarns, which is maybe where they're all from. I don't know, I want to learn more. And I think I got something to get a discount the next time I shop with them. Yeah, 15% off next time. Hooray! Now, who do I want to talk about next? Woodlot. So this is the couple. They live with their family up near Owen Sound. I think they said something like 20 acres and a house they have there, and then they make things with the wood from their land. And it's not like they're cutting down trees for this purpose, it's just things that naturally fall. So they had buttons and they had stitch markers and progress markers and other things. I can't remember what they were, but they were like something maybe to make an I-cord or something like that, but that they made with their hands from wood from their land. And then they had they labeled everything with the type of tree that it was from, or the type of, I don't know, plant, shrub. So these really cool shaped buttons are from a grapevine. So yeah, I got those. And then these are walnut 17mm buttons. In my dreams, I would have gotten this size, but in cherry wood, so that it would go so well with this. Although the pattern that I have in mind doesn't actually need buttons, so that is fine. I think that, I don't know that these would work with the cream thing that I'm gonna make. There's still like a little, I don't know. So I think I might get something from another maker for that button, for that project. But I will find a project for these. And one of my goals was to find something that could work as a charm on my traveler's notebook. And I was thinking maybe like a beautiful button, maybe one of these would work that way. So you just kind of like undo this elastic. Let's get this off of here. You undo this knot and then take the elastic off, thread something through, and then retie the knot and put it back on. And then you have a little something interesting on your cord that acts as a charm. Yes, so woodlot was next. And then I will talk about two places that are both based in Hamilton, Ontario. So that's where both my parents grew up. So of course these have a special place in my heart. So the first place was called Hand Knit Yarn Studio. And so that's a yarn shop, but then they also had some notions. These were pins that they designed themselves, and it says registered sock knitter and then Hand Knit Yarn Studio. And yeah, I knit a lot of socks, and I got an extra one for a friend at work who is always knitting socks in our meetings to help focus. So yeah, I think we both needed these pins. And then the other place, which is a yarn store as well, but Muster Pattern by Hand, made in Hamilton, Ontario. So I got these progress or stitch markers that are like Toronto and Canada themed. So there's something that looks like a Blue Jays jersey, but it says KnitCity 26, which I was like, whoa, what player is 26? And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's 2026. Okay, brain was a little slow. Then the CN Tower, and then a skein of yarn with a maple leaf for Canada. And then when I went to cash out, they said, I was like saying something about the Jays theme, and I don't know. Yeah, Blue Jays were also a theme at the at KnitCity. There was some cool sweaters there, a few different patterns that were Blue Jays themed. But yeah, when I made a comment about the Jays, they said, oh, for participating in Jays Pride, you get these needle protectors for free. So hey, yes, thank you very much. Yeah, much appreciated. So that was most of everything I bought. The only other thing I did get was my beautiful, wonderful, delicious, life-affirming, life-giving chocolate from Living Lotus Chocolate, based in Vancouver. Not sponsored, just appreciated. None of this was sponsored. Yeah, that was amazing. And I still have a couple pieces left, so I will enjoy those later. So thanks for joining me for this haul. Maybe I will move the camera up again. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. I did pretty well, I think you'll agree. And this is only some of what I bought. But yeah, to follow up on what I said, I think last week about being uncomfortable having too much stuff, I definitely am like in that zone. I do have projects in mind for everything. I am knitting a lot lately. I think I'll have some finished objects soon. So I feel motivated rather than anxious. So yeah, I just had the best time. It might take me more than 1 year to knit up all of what I've bought. So we'll see what happens next year. Will I go to Vancouver? Will I go to Montreal? Will I don't know. Yeah, so, but I just had the best time and I can't recommend it highly enough. Thanks for joining me and see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, it's me again. I forgot to mention one last thing that I got, and it was from Sheep's Ahoy, which is a yarn store based in Ottawa, our nation's capital. And I don't know if this is the case for the store as a whole or just what they brought to the show, but they had a lot of Fair Isle knitting pattern books and kits and yarns, so like the Jamiesons and Smith. Yeah, so what I bought there was this book, My Fair Isle Journey by Yuko Sakamoto with Amirisu, that is a knitting publisher based in Japan, and they have two yarn stores in Tokyo and in Kyoto. And I'm blanking on the name of their yarn stores. Anyways, I'll try and put it in the text down here. But this is an absolutely beautiful book. Yeah, it goes through the story of the author and of their journey to Fair Isle with Amirisu, or Amiris. Do you pronounce the Sue? Amirisu? Anyways, I will say it Amirisu. And then has some beautiful patterns. They're all gorgeous, but I picked one that I definitely want to knit. Let me just show it to you. It is called Vila, and I'll show you another picture. It's like a patchwork style cardigan. Oops, it's before. So it's like a sampler or a patchwork where there's different charts that you would work for the Fair Isle over the sweater. And there's in one patch, like right here, there's a little squirrel. I think that the word for squirrel might be what the shops are called. Anyways, I think this is so cute. I would choose different colors, maybe like a something almost like this, like a red squirrel color or something darker with a kind of natural or cream color. I think it's so beautiful. I would even maybe, like, there's an I-cord edging, maybe do that in a different color, but I think this is going to be like a fascinating knit and beautiful also. It also includes steeking, which is on my knitting bucket list. So yeah, I'm really happy with this purchase as well. And that is the last one to mention. Bye-bye.